Hello students, this is your next lesson in science, chapter 8, motion. In everyday life, we used to see many objects at rest and others in motion. Atoms, molecules, planets, stars, galaxies, all are in motion. An object may appear to be moving for one person and stationary for some other. Most of the motions are complex. Some objects may move in a straight line, others may take circular path. Some may rotate, some may vibrate. In this lesson, we are going to see about motion and its types. These are the topics I'm going to cover in this lesson. Introduction. In this introduction part, I'll cover some basic definitions about this chapter. Distance and displacement, uniform and non-uniform motion, speed, velocity, acceleration and deacceleration, equations of motion, graphical representation of motion, uniform circular motion, and numericals also I'm going to discuss in this. Okay, now let's see some important terms which is related to motion. First, we'll see origin. The reference point that is used to describe the location of an object is called origin. Let us assume that a school in a village is 2 km from the railway station. So we have to specify the location of the school with respect to the railway station. This is called origin. And the reference point, it is nothing but to describe the location of an object. An object can be referred through many reference points. And then rest. Third definition, rest. A body is said to be in state of rest when its position does not change with respect to a reference point. That is, a position of an object should not change with respect to change of time. And then motion. A body is said to be in motion when its position changes continuously with respect to time or with respect to a reference point. And the next definition, magnitude. A numerical value of a physical quantity. The physical quantity may be anything. Say for example, distance. If you want to mention distance, then what is a numerical value? For example, 2 km. So this numerical value 2 is called magnitude. And the next point. Motion can be of different types depending upon the type of path which the object is going through. Yeah, few types I have given here. Circulatory motion or circular motion. Whenever an object takes circular path, so that motion is called circulatory motion or circular motion. And the next is linear motion. Whenever an object takes a straight line path, it is called linear motion. And the third, oscillatory or vibratory motion. To and fro path taken by the object is called oscillatory motion or vibratory motion. And the next definition, scalar quantity. It is a physical quantity having own magnitude but no direction. Example I have given here, distance and speed. Okay, so it is a physical quantity having only magnitude, no direction. For example, distance. So take distance as 2 km. So you are mentioning only the numerical value, not the direction. So it is called scalar quantity. Then vector quantity. It is a physical quantity that requires both magnitude as well as the direction. So example I have given here, displacement and velocity. What is displacement? If you want to mention a distance along with the direction, 2 km in north direction. So this north, you are specifying the direction. Okay. So this quantity is called vector quantity. Okay, next we'll see distance and displacement. Okay, so let's see the definition for distance. The actual path or length traveled by an object during its journey from its initial position to its final position. Okay, so actual path or distance traveled by an object. Okay, so consider this is your position A and this is your position B. Okay, so what is the actual distance covered from position A to B? Okay, so this is called distance. And as I told you, distance is a scalar quantity which requires only magnitude, no direction. Example, Ramesh traveled 65 km. Okay, distance is measured by odometer in vehicle. Okay, so what is odometer? So it is a meter which will record the distance covered by the vehicle. Okay, so 65 km. This is called distance covered by Ramesh. And let's see displacement. Displacement is a vector quantity. How it is? It will give you the information about the magnitude as well as the direction. For example, Ramesh traveled 65 kilometer southwest from clock tower. Okay, so this direction, so along with your distance, you are mentioning the direction also. So this is called displacement. So displacement can be zero when initial point and final point of motion are same. So this we'll see later. Okay. Now let's see the types of displacement. Okay. So what is displacement? The shortest path covered by an object is called displacement. It have both the magnitude as well as direction. Okay, so let's see the types of displacement. We have three types of displacements. First is zero displacement and positive displacement, negative displacement. We have three types of displacements. Okay, let's see one by one. What is zero displacement? When the first and last position of an object are same. So there will be no distance between the first and last position. So the displacement is zero here. And positive displacement. So I've given a diagram here. Okay, so professor is taking a class. She's going to move from position A to position B. Okay, so here I have given the formula for displacement. That is del x, change in position, mentioned generally as del x. Del x equal to xf minus xo. Xf is final position and xo is initial position. Okay, so she is going to move from xo to xf. So what is the distance? What is the position of this initial xo is 1.5 meter. Initially she is in 1.5 meter and xf is 3.5 meter. Okay, so she is going to move from xo to xf. So what is the distance traveled by her? Xf minus xo is equal to 2 meters. So this is called positive displacement. Positive displacement means distance in the positive direction, that is towards right side, is called positive displacement. Okay, and negative displacement. Negative displacement means distance in the negative direction. Say for example, if she want to move from B position to A position, okay, then what is the displacement taken by her? So here what is the final position? A, 1.5 meters, and initial position is B, 3.5 meters. Okay, then what is the difference between these two? 1.5 minus 3.5. Okay, now the difference is minus 2.5 meters. So this is called negative displacement. Now let's see the difference between distance and displacement. One of the important question in this lesson. Let's see. First point is definition. Okay, so what is the definition for distance? Actual path traveled by an object. I've given a diagram here. A boy is moving from position A to position C. So what is the distance traveled by him? From A to B and B to C. So 4 kilometer plus 3 kilometer is equal to 7 kilometer. So this is the distance covered by a boy. Actual or length covered by an object is called distance. And what do you mean by displacement? Shortest length between initial point and the final point. So what is the shortest distance from? This is your initial point and C is your final point. So what is the distance? Shortest distance between these 2 points. Yes, this is 5 meters. Okay, so the shortest length between initial point and the final point is called displacement. And the second difference, it is a scalar quantity. As I told you before, distance will give you only magnitude, not the direction. So it is called scalar quantity. Displacement is a vector quantity. Why? It will give you magnitude as well as the direction. And the third point, it remains positive, cannot be zero or negative. Yes, of course, distance can be only positive for a moving object, not 0 or negative. Displacement can be positive, negative or 0 that we discussed earlier. And the fourth point, distance can be equal to displacement when the object takes a straight path. Only in this condition, distance will be equivalent to displacement, not in other motions. And here, displacement can be equal to distance or less than the distance. Okay. So, displacement can be equal to distance or sometimes it may be less than the distance value. This is your example for this criteria. Now let's see one example. A body travels in a circular path of radius 10 meters, starting its position from point A to B. Calculate the distance and displacement. This is your question. So, what are all your given values? Look at your diagram. A body travels in a semicircular path of radius 10 meters, starting from point A to point B. Calculate the distance and displacement. Okay. And now you have to write a given value like this. Pi is given in your diagram itself, 3.14. R, radius of this path, 10 meters. And your formula. What is the formula for circumference? Circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. And we have a semicircular path here. Okay. So divided by 2. 2 pi r divided by 2. 2 cancelled. Then pi r is your distance. Distance covered by an object is pi r. You know the value of pi and r. Once you substitute this 3.14 into 10, you will get 31.4 meters. And what is the displacement? Displacement taken by the body. I told you before, the shortest distance covered by an object. Okay. So this is your shortest distance covered by an object from point A to point B. And we have a midpoint O here. Then what is the distance? What is the displacement here? 10 meters. From point A to O 10 meters and from O to B is also 10 meters. Why? Because it is a circle. Radius of the circle is 10 meters. So it will be equal here. So R plus R, or you can write it as 2R. So displacement covered by an object is 2R. 2 into 10, 20 meters. Now let's see what is uniform and non-uniform motions. Okay, so uniform motion means when a body travels equal distance in equal interval of time, then the motion is said to be uniform motion. Okay, let's see a graph here. X-axis time period, y-axis distance. Fine. When a body travels equal distance in equal interval of time, when time period increases, distance should also increase. Okay, so this kind of motion is called uniform motion. Then non-uniform motion. In this type of motion, the body will travel unequal distances in equal interval of time. Let's see the graph. In x-axis, time period, y-axis, distance. A body will take unequal distance in equal interval of time. Unequal distance in equal interval of time. So like this, irregular graph. This is called non-uniform motion. Now let's see about speed. Different objects may take different amount of time to cover a given distance. Some of them move fast and some move slowly. The rate at which objects move can be different. Also, different objects can move at the same rate. One of the way of measuring the rate of motion of an object is to find out the distance traveled by the object in unit time. So this quantity is referred to as speed. The measurement of distance traveled by a body per unit time. distance traveled by a body per unit time is called speed. So there is a formula. Speed is generally referred as v. So v is equal to distance traveled by time taken. Distance traveled is mentioned generally as s and time t. So s by t is equal to v. SI unit of speed is meter per second. If a body is executed uniform motion, then there will be a constant speed or uniform motion. If a body is traveling with non-uniform motion, see, speed of an object need not to be constant always. In most of the cases, object will be in non-uniform motion. Therefore, we describe the rate of motion of such objects in terms of their average speed. So for non-uniform motion, always we should take average speed. Fine. The average speed of an object is obtained by dividing the total distance traveled by the total time taken. So this is your formula. You will use this formula in numericals. Okay, so average speed is equal to total distance traveled divided by total time taken. V is equal to S by T. This is your general formula for speed. V equal to S by T. And this is your unit meter per second. Fine. And the next is how to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second. So this will be helpful for your numerical. Kilometer per hour to meter per second. We know about kilometers and meters. 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meters. And similarly, 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. Fine. Then 1000 meters divided by 3600 seconds. This is equal to 5 divided by 18 meter per second. And similarly, if you want to convert meter per second scale to kilometer per hour scale, this inverse process. So 60 by 60, 3600 seconds divided by 1000 meters. This will give you 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. Yes, we have a numerical here. What will be the speed of body in meter per second and kilometer per hour if it travels 40 kilometers in 5 hours? Okay, then we have to write given values. What is the distance? Distance covered is 40 kilometers and time taken 5 hours. What is the speed? This is your question. Fine. Distance equal to 40 kilometers, time 5 hours. And what is the formula? We know it already. Speed equal to distance by time. Distance is 40, time is 5, and 40 divided by 5 is 80 kilometer per hour. Fine. One part is over. Then what is the next part? What is the speed of body in meter per second? Fine. And we have a conversion. 40 kilometers. 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meters. Then for 40 kilometer, 40 into 1000 equal to 40,000 meters. And similarly, 1 hour equal to 3600 seconds. Then for 5 hours, 5 into 3600 seconds. Then speed formula, distance divided by time taken. 40 into 1000 divided by 5 into 3600 is equal to 80 divided by 36. If you simplify this further, you will get 2.22 meter per second. Okay, students. So far, I've covered few important terms which is related to motion, types of motion, distance and displacement, types of displacements, and few numericals also we saw. I'll cover the rest of the topics in my next video. Thank you.